Hello and welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. And today is July the 17th, I believe, 2025. I want to welcome everybody here to my channel. We are celebrating Christmas in July this month, so you're going to get to see some yarn opening and also some yarn I received in the mail. And my noisy little friend is right here beside me. We'll see how long he stays. I want to welcome everybody. To those of you that may be new or have just discovered me or happened by chance, okay, come on over. Come on over. We're so happy you could join us, me and the little guy here. Yes, he likes to make an appearance. And we hope you enjoy the channel and that you will come back. Hopefully, you will decide to subscribe. And of course, we hope all of you like this video and comment. I really, truly appreciate the comments, and I do respond to all of them. To those of you that are regular viewers, you will be happy to say hello to my little friend here who likes to, as you call him, he is my co-host. He won't last for long. He leaves after a couple of minutes, but he's looking for some rubbies today. Yeah, I was away earlier today. So, for those that are new, you may be asking, what am I wearing? Those that have been around, you're used to seeing this raggedy thing by now. But it was particularly cold down here when I came down to get started. So I went and grabbed it. This is a cocoon cardigan. It is no particular pattern. I simply make a big rectangle and join it at the end. And every time I do it, I probably pick a different stitch. But I like to just wrap it around me when it's cool down here, and it's getting pretty raggedy. And if you could see it up close, you would see all of the terrible pilling on it. But it's comfortable and it keeps me warm. I should maybe make another one just to have a little bit of variety. Before I start, I want to answer somebody's question from a couple weeks ago. They asked me, what is that bright purple yarn behind you? And without looking, and if I put that question out there into the universe to all my listeners, you'd say, purple? She has so much purple. How would she know which yarn you're referring to? But I took a good look at the video, and she did say it was right behind this shoulder, and I have it here, and I forgot to say anything about it. I'm pretty sure the person who asked me about this bright purple, this is what you were asking about. Now, I can't tell you the color name. There is no tag in it. I am thinking the color might have been Wish. I recall that name from way back when I used it. Obviously, I used it. It's in a cake all bound up. But I can tell you, as I put it back here on the shelf, where it came from, that this is the complete shelf of what I have of alpaca silk lace. It's lace. There isn't very much of it because I don't use a lot of lace. For those that are new, this entire storage unit behind me is all yarn from Expression Fiber Arts, and it is separate. Each cubby is a different kind of yarn. Do you want to go back over there? That's a good boy. Yes. These are all different kinds of yarn from Expression Fiber Arts, and if you're around for very long, you know that they are my favorite yarn. I have more yarn from them, a little bit over here in the cubbies, and even up here in these sideways ones, and I have a couple of storage units there on the floor from them as well. So where do we want to start? Do I have a finished object? Yes, I have a finished object. I'm only going to show it to you. I'm not going to talk about it because my finished object is the Riptide shawl. I'll give you a glance. It did block out very nicely, and I will show it better and I will talk about it more on the live. And while we're talking about that, the live will be on Lynanne's channel. That is Nina's Knots Crochet. So you want to be subscribed to her to get the notification, or maybe go in a day or so and check out if she has it listed. As of the moment, I don't think it's listed, and then you can ask to be notified. The live will be only a couple days from now, this Saturday, which is July the 19th, and it will be at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. That's Eastern Standard Time. So if you're on the West Coast, 1 o'clock is 10 a.m. to you. If you're over in the UK, that's 6 p.m. And you can figure out the individual time zones in between all of those. I'm pretty sure if you hit the notify me button once she has it listed, it'll notify you at the appropriate time. So that's the only thing that I have actually finished this week. I got a start on my item for the butterfly mal. I didn't bring it down. I don't have a lot on it yet. Possibly next week I'll show you my progress. In fact, next week I hope I'm finished it. And I am still working on the, I don't remember the name, but still working on this. Didn't get very far. Oh, it's maybe a couple of inches, inch and a half more than it was. So I'm still working on that for Rose. I don't get a lot of time to work on it. And when I'm at the hospital, I'm working on a blanket, and I haven't gotten very far on it either. So I think when I finish the butterfly mal, I'm going to spend some serious time on the blanket and this and try to get them finished. Hopefully by the end of the month. I got something in my eye up here. I'm hoping to get both of these items finished by the end of the month. So that's what I'm working on. I'm thinking I want to show you one purchase that I made this month before we get into unwrapping some yarn. I think I told you when I cleaned up this, fixed it, redid it, I also picked up this huge pile of project bags that were on the floor, and I filled them with, they aren't actually projects that are in progress. They are projects that I want to do. They're things I've pulled out yarn and said, I want to do something with that. Or in some cases, I actually have decided what I want to use that yarn for. A couple of them are items I started and didn't continue. Mostly last fall, I started a few shawl patterns from EFA and then got sidetracked. So they're UFOs sitting in bags. But I filled every single project bag I had, and I didn't have anything for what I was working on. So I said, I need a few more project bags. So I ordered a couple from Woolen Frog. I will link them below. Woolen Frog is on Etsy, and I got this thank you card from them, and I ordered these 2 project bags. Now this one is like a sack that sits open. They didn't have a lot of choice in fabric for this one. I really wanted something that would just sit on the floor next to me and I could work out of it. So I'm working on wrap for Rose out of this. And I think whenever I have a current project, I will put it in this to sit by my chair and work out of. And it will go up taller, and it does have 2 straps to carry it. But I'm quite happy with it being folded down. You can see the material inside. And just sitting there like a bucket. That's what it's meant to be, like a bucket. So that's one I am working on. I keep by my chair. This thing doesn't like to stay up. I should have a little clasp of some sort. The other project bag I got, and I just put something in it that I do want to make this year from my Make 9. And this is the other one. And this is a fairly large one. Has all kinds of cat things on it. But I was quite happy with the size of it. And then inside it just has big circles. I was quite happy. Oh, it has pockets too. Okay, the other one didn't have pockets, but this one has a big pocket and a narrow pocket. I was quite happy with the size of it for the price. I was surprised at how big it was when it arrived. So those are the 2 project bags, and that one is going over there until I get to it, which is going to be a while, but it is on my Make 9, so I think I would like to get to it this fall. All right, so how about we get busy at opening some yarn? The first one I'm going to open this week is from Polka Dot Creek, and this is what I've received so far from Polka Dot Creek. I purposely ordered it because they said that it would be all purples and aquas and blues. Well, we have pink as well, and that's good for me, but these are my kind of colors. I really and truly like these colors. So it is a 24-day Advent. So that means that we are going to open 6 days. 6 every week, because I only do this once a week. So let's pull this bag open, which, there we go. And we'll start with day 13 and make a mess on the floor and see if they've kept to these colors. And yeah, you're going to get crinkling because there's no other way to do this. Day 13. Last thing was rosy colors. Oh, we're back into some purples. This one is called Hydrangea. I do like that, of course, you would know that. Next one, day 14. This is, I have a feeling with 24 of them, I'll probably split it maybe into 2. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something small and something large. But whatever it is I make, it's going to be just, well, I think it's going to be gorgeous. This one is called Silent Night. Nice variegated purples, and it has blues in it as well. My 2 favorite colors. More blue down there. Going on to day 15. Day 15. Like I said, the tissue paper's equally as pretty. Oh, we're switching over to, I would call it aqua. I do like that shade. And they call it frost. Yeah, very, very pretty colors. This thing is perfect. It's probably one of the best collections I've ever bought from, well, maybe no, I can't say that. One year I bought the yarn from Yarn Unique, where I got to tell her my color, and I got, where's the beginning of this? I got yarn dyed specifically in my color, and it was a merino silk. And it used to be sitting up here for quite a while. I've got it over there now. A lot of you will remember this is half of it, and the other half went into sort of an aqua teal color. These feel wonderful, and this, I love it. And even if I don't use all 12, even if I use 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe 10 or 11 of it, I wouldn't mind a suggestion of what to make with it, because I want to make something special. So it's been sitting there now 2.5 years and I haven't used it yet. Okay, here is day 16. I don't know if I showed it to you or not. Oh, okay, we're going into greens now. Green with some browns in it. Or is that black? I think it's both. And the color name is Frosty Forest. If I had some browns, I'd put that with it. And 17, day 17. You can't, it's so smooth, you can't see, oh there, okay. It's hard to see where the edge of the paper is, so you know where to rip. Well wrapped, that's for sure. Oh, now that's a nice delicate color. I'd call that a very pale pink. It's not quite peachy. And it's called Tutu. Yeah, I guess that might be appropriate, Tutu. And finally, day 18 from Polka Dot Creek. By the way, if I didn't mention that, if you've forgotten, it's Polka Dot Creek, day 18. I wouldn't mind a little more blue here. This color of blue would be nice. There isn't a lot of blue there. In fact, there's no true blue. Oh, that's pretty. Pinks and purples. There's a purple down there, variegated with the pink. And this one is called Parfait. So that brings us to day 18, the end of week 3 of Polka Dot Creek. And I'll pick it up to show you. First week, second week, and now our third week. Right. Very, very pretty. I am very, very happy with that collection. Very happy I got that collection. So, we're going to take a little break here. And once again, I'm going to go to the Christmas puzzle. I tried experimenting again this week, and I actually sat and taped a little bit of me working on the puzzle and thought I would speed it up. And that way it'd be maybe a little more interesting than just me flashing at the end of each day or each 2 or 3 days what happened. My editing program only speeds up a very little bit. And I really wanted to get that, real fast, sped up version, and it didn't happen. So I didn't tape or keep as much tape as I wanted to. But here is me working on the next 6 days of the Christmas puzzle. I'll interject it here. Okay, let's move on now to some more opening of Advents. Let me just move this over here. And those are the next one I'm going to open is from Cathy. And Cathy sent me all of these lovely, oh, I better find my scissors. We know Cathy likes to tape them. So this is day 7. We're doing 7, 8, and 9 in the 12 days of Christmas. And Cathy is Yarn with Heart. I hope you have been watching her. She's doing one a week like me, and she is on Friday. So hopefully tomorrow you will tune into Cathy at Yarn with Heart and see what she is opening from Diane and I. So Christmas tissue, she double wraps. You're not going to peek when Cathy sends you something. Yeah, that's okay, Cathy. Oh, now there's a nice Christmassy color. And of all the greens, I would say that would be my favorite green. Oh, you know what? I forgot to bring the board over here and show you what we have from Cathy so far. She started with a set that was a sparkle set, and then the purple. Now we'll add this green. Oh, my little guy's back. He's going to play in the paper, I think. Yeah. Then we have day 8. Yeah. And I'm not undoing it all. I'm just pulling it out because we have another layer here. Oh, looks like it might, ooh, that's kind of a rosy, oh, and it's sparkle. We got more sparkle. Look at that. This is very, very soft yarn. And she got it from a company called Val fibers. I think I showed you their label last week. This is nice and soft. So that's 8. And one more, we have number 9. And while I'm busy opening this, which will take a minute, I want to remind you that Cathy and I are cooperating on a summer crochet along. I do a summer crochet along every summer, and is strictly crochet. I pick a pattern, or in this case, Cathy and I are picking a pattern. And we're going to be doing a live show on Sunday, July the 27th. We're waiting until all of these shows, all of these Christmas in July episodes are over. And Diane, I'll talk more about Diane in a minute. Diane will be finishing hers up on Saturday the 26th. That's the end of the 4th week in July. So look at this beautiful sparkle. Nice. More sparkle. Cathy knows I like my sparkle. That was day 9. So 7, 8, and 9. So there is my yarn from Cathy so far. Kind of looks yellowy on the screen, but it is very light, a very light taupe, beige maybe, but it's sparkle. Anyhow, there's what we have from Cathy so far. And as I was saying, she and I are doing a summer crochet along, and we're going to kick it off on Sunday, July the 27th at 1 p.m. I'm pretty sure we chose 1 p.m. to get it started. And I'll obviously be talking more about it next week because it will be that weekend. So stay tuned, and sometime before the end of the week, it isn't done right yet, but maybe I can get it done by the time this video comes out. And then you can go to my homepage by clicking my logo under the video. It'll take you to my homepage, and if you click live shows, it'll show you all my lives, and it'll have I don't know what you call it, a thumbnail, I guess, representing the one coming up in July, and you can hit it to be notified. So I'm going to make a mental note to myself to get that done before this video comes out. So once you get this video, you can go and click the notification bell. So that's July the 27th. Okay, now we're moving on to yarn from Diane. And Diane is my pink bathtub. And this is what we've opened so far from Diane. And we have 3 more to open today. So starting with day 7. And these are all from Lichen and Lace. Hers are difficult to get in and out because the tag is kind of big. 7. Oh, and that's a gray. And you know, that's probably my favorite neutral. Well, I really like black, but I like putting gray with things. And that's a really nice one. Does it have a name? I think so. Rainy Day. I guess gray would make for a rainy day, wouldn't it? And I'll put that. There's a little bit of blue in there. Yeah, there's a little bit of blue. Okay, 7. and 8. And I hope you've been watching Diane as well. Diane is doing daily ones, and she's doing shorter videos, and her videos are coming out Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. So if you haven't already caught her, you can go back and find her. Now there's an interesting one. Greens, yellows, and a rosy color. And it is called Moon Mist. Okay, that's an interesting name. So there's day 8. And she is opening hers on those 3 days. So she wanted to do the 12 days of Christmas. So that's what she's doing. So you want to check her out. And if you already have, or once you catch up, then you can go this Saturday and catch the end of our 3rd week. It's our 3rd week already. And I can't wait to get to next week, the 4th week, because this is the extra day that Cathy sent me. You see why I want to get to that one? Yeah, only Cathy did the 25th day. Oh, here's another one that goes with that other gray. The other bag, the seam got ripped open because of these cards. There we go. And this is navies and well, I call that a mustard color. And then there's I don't know, a green, maybe that's an olive green, and navy, and a mustardy color. This one's called Golden Lake. This is nice feeling yarn too. It's very soft and squishy for sure. So put this one on the board and I put it in close so I have enough room to get the last 3 on here. And there we go. There are the 9 days so far, 3 more to come. And thank you, Diane. So I hope you are catching Diane and Cathy on their respective days. The 3 of us exchanged all around, and so you would see what I gave them if you catch their days. So that's Christmas in July. Now, the next thing we want to do, and this is time going faster than I thought. The next thing I want to do, and I want to do this a little quicker, is I ask you to send me items that you were particularly proud of, that you really liked, that you wanted to show off. And I would do a video. I did this at the first of the year, and at the time I said I'll only take 1 per person because I'm going to do it again. So this is our 2nd installment, you might say. So I'm going to get started right away. And in some cases, there are 2 pictures. Sometimes because they did send 2 items, but mostly because they showed 2 different views to get an actual look at what the item looked like. So our first one is from Lori R., who is in Indiana, and she sent a shawl. She said this shawl goes to a group that support organ donors, and so she was pleased to be able to make something for them. And then she sent me a picture of a dress and hat, and she made this dress and hat for a great niece on her 5th birthday. And it is, let's see, I think the dress is a Simone crochet pattern. The hat was just her own making to match it. And apparently the niece loved it. Next, from Deb M. in Arizona, we have this Star Baby Bunting, and it is by Shelley's Crochet Ole. And this is the very first item she made for her new great-grandbaby. Great-grandbaby, my goodness. Next, we have from Cathy, with a K, in California, we have this pair of stockings, the Prancing Deer and the Polar Bear Stroll. Now, I would consider these the kind of stockings you hang on the mantelpiece at Christmas. And she said these stockings are by Brianna K. Designs. My thing is falling down back here. Now, I want to explain about this next one. This is from Judy T. in Ontario. And those of you that have been with me a while, you might remember that last year, Judy did these big squares that have like a mandala or a fancy center. She did these big squares every month based on the tropical bird and said they were 17-inch squares. Well, it turns out they're actually 20-inch squares. And you heard me mention I hope to see this blanket. And she said she had 16 squares and she had 8 of them together and realized that it was way, way too heavy for anybody. She said 8 of them was heavy. So instead, she decided to do 4 square throws. You see one picture. I've been showing you one picture. She said for some reason she only had a picture of one and she didn't have a picture of the other. And they were given as Christmas gifts. And then the other 8 she put together in 2-sided pillows. And you see the first 3 that she has done. She has another one to make. The pattern, and if you look closely, it's the same pattern each month, was by Splendid Serendipity, that's the name of the pattern, by Loopy Stitch on YouTube. So thanks, Judy, for showing us that all put together. Each of those squares was a fair bit of work. Then we have Rebecca from Mississippi, and she is proud of this. She said this is the first item she ever made for one of my mals. She said she was a new crocheter in January of 23. She just found me then. She was a new viewer, I guess. And she finally got up the nerve to participate in March of that year. She was still a beginner and somewhat unsure of herself, but she sent me this Japanese knot purse, and it was based on, it was in 23. In 23, we were doing the flowers of the month. And she said this was based on the daffodils, which was the flower for that month. And surprise of surprise, she won that month. Very excited about that. So she's been with us for a while. Next, we have Lori M., who is in PEI. She did this frog, and it was her very first try or ever made any amigurumi. And it is considered, I guess it's called, Fisher the Friendly Frog by Angela Whitson, her very first amigurumi. Yeah, I'd be keeping my first one too if I ever made one, which not going to happen. Then Jennifer, who is in Georgia, she just learned to make socks this year. And she only ever did vanilla socks. And then we saw these, I think last month or the month before, in, or maybe not, maybe I just saw it when she sent it to me. I've seen, she's submitted to some other mouths. That's why I know I've seen it. So she decided she was going to try something more than just a vanilla sock. And this is the result. She tried Frosty the Penguin socks, which is stranded color work. So good for you at stepping out of the box. Then we have Linda in Illinois, and this is a beautiful but sad story. She knitted this shawl in a sparkly amethyst yarn for her sister. She designed it herself, and amethyst was her sister's birthstone. Now her sister lives in another state, a little distance from her, and a couple of years ago she passed away. So Linda asked the person who was cleaning out her sister's apartment for this shawl, and she wanted it as a keepsake. I understand that, Linda. And the person said, oh, she threw that shawl away because it had holes in it. Well, obviously that person doesn't know a thing about knitting or crocheting, and how very sad. And Linda said all she had was this picture of it as a memory. Sorry about that, Linda. Next we have Cathy, who is in Ontario. And she said this is a picture of a shawl that she made her very first time ever crocheting with fingering weight. Cathy makes a lot of blankets and also scarves and hats and that kind of thing for donation. So a lot of you will understand if you've always used 4-weight yarns. Stitching with fingering weight the first time is a little bit scary. And she said also this was her first time using what she called fancy yarn. So in other words, this is hand-dyed yarn, and it's actually Moongleam fingering from EFA. And the pattern was by Carmen Heffernan, and it is called Hot Chili. Then Lisa S., also in Ontario, she made this for her niece when she had a baby. She took a pattern for a horse and altered it to make it more like Eeyore. And I'm showing the side as well. It is based on an animal stool. It's called Animal Stool Crochet by Anya Toonen. Now I have two Janets. The first Janet is in Singapore. And this is what she made that made her feel the most accomplished. It was a flower granny square shirt that she made for her hubby. And it was for a themed office party. She said the pattern was badly written and very challenging. And she had to make almost 100 squares to complete this shirt. But felt very good about it because apparently her husband received quite a few compliments on this shirt. Next we have Janet M. in California. And she said this is the first shawl that she ever made. And it is called Wonderwall by Crystalette Bagaudet. And she has the flowers in it as well to show that they were her inspiration, I think, for the colors. Next, we have Vicky C., also in California. And she wanted to make a temperature blanket back in 2022. And she said that it turned out to be so big and so ugly. She said she was never going to do that again. But in 2023, she decided to try again, and she quit in March. So she gave it one more go in 2024, and this is the result. And you can see it looks like 4 temperature blankets, 1 for each season. Then Debbie P., who lives in Arizona, she has only ever made 1 mosaic blanket, and this is it. And she made it for a friend of 56 years. And it's done in her favorite colors. And then she gave it to her on her birthday a few years ago. Next, we have Fran in Ohio. And she said this is the first mosaic blanket she's ever made. So I'll have to guess she's made more since. She said it's called the Odyssey Mosaic Blanket. And it's by Ophelia Talks Crochet. Then Christine in Kentucky, she made this blanket using the squares that she made last year. Every month she made squares in the 2024 mal I did with tropical birds. And she says they were 10-inch squares, and this is about 37 by 47. And she was very happy that I sort of nudged her and inspired her to get it all put together. Then Lillian in Singapore, she said this is her first time trying mosaic. Quite a few attempts at mosaic here in the group. And she made this table mat, and it is inspired by Gary. And some of you maybe watch Gary, Urban Yarn, and she was inspired by a mosaic blanket that he made. I think he's still in the process of making it. It's getting quite large. Then Melissa didn't tell me where she's from. She made this blanket, and I guess it was pretty large because she said she was very glad to be done. And then Vicki O., who lives in Wisconsin, she has made this Afghan. It's her own design, and she made it in memory of her mother in her mother's favorite colors. So, of course, it's special to her. Now, look at this. Barbara M. in Alberta, she says this was one of the most strange, unique things she ever made, and it's a dragon Halloween costume for her son. She said the crocheted mask, she crocheted a mask, dragon scale fingerless mitts, and a sweater tail. The bird mask was by Natalie Allen from Eastern Dragon. The bird mask was by Natalie Allen. And then she did some Eastern Dragon add-ons, I guess by Megan Lapp. I guess that's what all my notes are about. So that was quite a task there, Barbara. At least I hope he can still wear the sweater. And then we have Donna in New York. And she said she made the ultimate scrap buster with hand-dyed yarns. And she used every little bit of her hand-dyed yarns to make this mosaic throw, which is a Havana Afghan by Tina Thoradottir, Thoradottir. I know I did not say that correctly. And Renee in Alabama made this pot holder back in 2022. She said it's a Lind pot holder by Sidsel Sandgild. And she really enjoyed the technique, so I'm guessing it was a different or unique technique to her. Then we have Carmen, who's in California, and she said she made this blanket for her grandson, her first and only grandson, and it was for his baby shower, and the theme was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So this is a filet blanket, and she says it's free on Ravelry. And finally, we have Cindy, who made this blanket. It was a cowl. It was the Holiday Tunisian Crochet Sampler Blanket Cowl by TL Yarn Crafts. And she did this a few years back, so you can see the variety of squares in that sampler blanket. So altogether, that is 24 people that participated in this slideshow. And I'm not sure if people really enjoy this or not, whether they like submitting these items that they made in the past or not. I don't think I'm going to do another slideshow like this, but what I am going to do is this. I'm going to encourage you, whenever you make something, not for one of my mals, but when you make something that is particularly special or you're particularly proud of how it came out, or think it was something new and difficult to you, I'd be happy anytime you would like to send me a picture of something. I once or twice have received pictures from people who just wanted to show me something. And if you send me a picture and tell me what is special about it, or what you want me to know, or the story behind it, I would be more than happy to just show it any week on one of my normal videos if you send me something. I'm not saying you have to, but I know lots of times we make something and, you know, our family is not into crochet, and so they don't understand what might be really special about it to you. Like, for instance, a person that didn't understand that because there were holes in it, there was something wrong with it. Oh my goodness, how sad that is. But if you do something you'd really like me to see and would be happy for me to show in the community, please feel free to send it along and tell me about it. I'd be happy to show it. So we had 24 people that participated, and I like to think that you participated because you really did want to show me something special to you, something that had a story behind it, something you really did want other people to see. I don't think most of my viewers, I know there are people that participate in mals because there is a prize. I get the feeling, though, a lot of my viewers and a lot of my participants participate because they like the challenge, they like the inspirations I give, and they just want to be part of what I do. But I have done another draw for you people because you are all special to me. I like to do something special for you. So I have all 24 names listed here, and there is the wheel, and I'm going to tap to spin it. And it looks like Rebecca. Rebecca is the winner of, I don't even have it here. I have some yarn to send you. How about, Rebecca? It's going to be a surprise. And let me just check back to see Rebecca. Oh, this is funny. Rebecca is the one that had to get up the nerve to send in to my first mal she sent to in March of 23. And when she sent that item, she won. So once again, Rebecca, now mind you, that's more than 2 years ago, you have won again. That is a very, very lucky item, that Japanese knot purse. You better hang on to it. Take it with you when you go to buy a lottery ticket. So that brings us to the end of that. And I don't want to make these very long. So once again, next week, there are no extras. I am going to open my Advent yarn, and then I'm going to have time to sit back and answer all these questions I have here. And I'm going to do that throughout August as well, because I don't have any real special items or things planned for the month of August. What I was going to show you, and I will do this very quickly, is I have some yarn that, which yarn should I show you? I have 2 or 3 different groups of yarn, and I think I'm going to do this one because this yarn, pretty sure I kept things straight. If you remember, when my brother is in Florida in the winter, I have yarn sent to him. And I just saw him on the weekend, and he brought the yarn to me. So I have one order from Expression Fiber Arts. Is not something I ordered this summer, so it's not qualifying in that summer deal that I talked about. But I do have some yarn, 2 different groups of yarn that are part of the summer thing. And I'll talk about it next week because I'll show it next week. So let's look at the yarn I got. Oh, it keeps falling all over the place here. All right, I got some whites. Not too sure why, but I did. I think my thinking was that I wanted to make a top for the summer. So I got some white, it's called Swan, in Moon Gleam fingering. It feels really, really nice. And I think maybe if I get the time, I'm going to try to make a tee out of this. I have 3 of them, so that's 1,200 yards. I should be able to make a tee. It feels very, very nice. So that's one thing I ordered back in the winter, not knowing when I would get it. So maybe it'll be for next summer. Then I always try to get a few of the things they have on sale. These don't say oopsie, but oh well. The first one is Amphitrite, and I have had this color before in a different yarn. I think I had it in Oasis Fingering. I'm not sure, but I love the color. And this is Cash Silk Sock. Cash Silk Sock is 75% merino, 15% cashmere, and 10% silk. Has 410 yards, and it does feel just as lovely as can be. Then the next one I have is Oasis Fingering, which I'm beginning to think Oasis Fingering might be my favorite of all of the EFAs. And it's 50 camel and 50 silk, mulberry silk. And this is a blue that I absolutely love. And now I wish I'd gotten 2 of these so I could make a good size shawl with this. This is lovely. But maybe, I can't see that section, it's got a door. Maybe I can find another color to go with it and make something special, because I really, really do enjoy working with Oasis Fingering. And I think this is Oasis Fingering also. Yes, I got a black. I like to have black to go with other colors. Again, 50 camel and 50 mulberry silk, and feels wonderful. And we will be looking at the properties of camel a little later on. And then my final part of that order is this. I'm really liking, and I want more colors, Cosmic Confetti Fingering. I've shown you that a few times. I used a creamy white one once, and most of them I have from them are solid. I can't reach them right. Oh, they're there. I won't pull them out. But they had one that was more variegated. This one is called Blythe Astrantia. Look at the colors. Purple with speckles of dark blue. It is a tweed type yarn, so it has all the little dots of other colors, but in the die there are speckles of colors. And this is the one that has the stellina in three different colors. There's red, there's gold, and there's blue. And I don't know, can you see the red there? Maybe you can see the blue. See the red and blue sparkling there? And there's gold. All of them have that stellina in it. And I think they're beautiful. And I got 2 of them. And there's 437, the usual amount. It's fingering, but it feels a little bit heavier than some fingerings. And that's going to make something wonderful. I don't know what yet, but I really love this yarn, and I intend to make myself something out of this color. I hope it doesn't pool too strangely, because I really want to make something with it. All right, so that was my purchase from way back in the winter time, and I finally got it, and we all got to see it and enjoy it. So that's it for this week. Please be sure to check out Cathy tomorrow at Yarn with Heart. And then on Saturday, check out Diane at My Pink Bathtub, where they will share their advents as well that we exchanged between the 3 of us. So I'm glad you could join me, and I hope you'll be back next week when we finish up Christmas in July. Until then, happy hooking.